start, and I'll do my typical intro while folks are still trickling in. So welcome to the August 2nd community call for the Forta network. This is Andy. I lead ecosystem development at Forta. If you're new to the Forta community, welcome. Forta is the security layer for Web3 and monitoring blockchains for threats and other anomalous activity. For purposes of these calls, we're sharing major milestones and updates, features, network stats, current events, and highlighting some of the cool things that are being built on the network and the community members that are responsible for them. It's been, I think, exactly 2 months since our last community call. I believe it was on June 1st. So we have a lot of topics to cover today. A lot's happened over the last 60 days. So quick sort of run through the agenda, and then we'll get into the deep dives immediately after. So we will be talking about the Forta airdrop today, a little retrospective update on that. I will be giving an update on ecosystem, talking about some of the new teams and communities that have onboarded to Forta recently, and some of the other interesting initiatives that we've been pursuing. Members of the Forta Foundation will be giving updates on our Node Runner community, bot development, and also governance. And we've got a number of sub-items under sort of each of these topics. So I guess we'll probably be presenting for probably the next half hour, and then per usual, we will open it up to questions from the community afterwards. So if you do have a question, you can drop it in one of the general chat channels in the meantime, just so we can capture it, so you don't forget it. But if you did want to become a speaker at the end and ask it directly, we just ask that you please hold, and we'll cover it at the end. Okay. So first item on the agenda, Forta airdrop. Alex, I will pass the mic to you to give everybody an update here.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Andy. All right, everybody. So wanted to give you guys an update on the Airdrop Appeals. I already talked with some of the ambassadors so far, but the process is a little bit complicated for those who have already made a claim. Anyways, for the rest of you, so we have approved and updated appeals for ambassadors and Ethernet players, and most of those were approvals. For people who previously had no amount, which is pretty much the Ethernet players, they should be fine and be able to claim now. However, for people who have previously had an allocation and were granted an appeal, meaning the ambassadors, please bear with us. We're working through a UI issue, and the site was not designed to accommodate a change in claims, especially if you've already claimed, and it just kind of complicates some logic that was never intended to be changed there. So we're working through that. I think we should have a fix for you today. Finally, we received a number of appeals from Subgraph Developers. However, the only Subgraph developers eligible were those who built decentralized subgraphs rather than centralized subgraphs. And unfortunately, centralized subgraphs were most of the appeals that we had received. All right, that is my little update on the airdrop. Ambassadors, you know who you are, and I will be communicating with all of you through that channel and through DMs.
All right, thanks, Alex. We'll move to the next item, ecosystem update. So over the last 2 months, the following teams and communities have started using Forta to monitor the security and health of their protocol. We've onboarded Balancer, Enki, DYDX, Euler, Ondo Finance, Perpetual Finance, P-Stake, Trader Joe, TrueFi, and Umi. There are a number of other teams too that are somewhere in the onboarding process, and so we look forward to sort of formally announcing them on the next call. We also do sort of regularly post new user announcements on our Twitter account too, so you can follow that to get a sense for the teams that are onboarding. Up until now, most of the user acquisition effort has been driven by the Forta Foundation. And in the interest of scaling this effort and onboarding more users faster, we're building out what we're calling a decentralized sales team So here's my ask of the community. If you are working at a dev shop or are an independent developer and interested in helping protocol teams like the ones I just mentioned with bot development and driving adoption of Forta in the market, I would like to speak with you, so please reach out to me. I am Space Monkey on Discord. You can also reach out to any of the mods or Alex, and they can put you in touch with me. Again, we're, just to kind of recap that, looking to sort of increase our bandwidth on the business development, sort of user acquisition side of things, and dev teams and individual developers can play an important role for us. So if you're interested, I'd like to speak with you. Related, we have started forming relationships with top-tier smart contract auditors and are kicking off a handful of trial partnerships this month. Assuming these go well and they get extended, we will be much more vocal about these in the coming months. But I guess what I wanted to share was sort of the context behind some of the thinking behind these arrangements. So we've learned that smart contract auditors in particular are in a really good position to help protocol teams identify risks and determine what to monitor for. So we're really excited to build out this part of the Forta ecosystem. So if you are part of an audit team out there and you're listening, or if you have a relationship with an audit team and you think this would be an interesting, proposition for them too, again, please reach out. Would love to speak. Okay, we're going to talk about node operator updates right now. Juan, I'll pass the mic to you.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you, Andy. We want to share some updates for the Node community. We already shared them all on our blog posts and on the Forta channels, but we want to make sure that the entire Node community is aware that beginning September 30th, the minimum 4 token stake requirement for a Forta node will increase from 500 Fort to 2,500 Fort. And this is in order to bolster the security of the network. It's an important milestone for the Forta community, and nodes are already able to stake higher to get ready and make sure that everything works well on September 13th. So far, we got more than 8,000 nodes running on the Forta network, and 4.4 million Fort tokens have been distributed to the nodes running, and we anticipate that rewards for the following weeks will keep at the same level than former weeks as well. The nodes are running more than 800 detection bots across all the 7 respective blockchains that Forta is running, and are providing alerts to more than 10,000 Forta alert subscribers. So we as the Forta Foundation are extremely thankful to the Node community, and we want to highlight what an important role they are running on the network. That's it from the nodes side. And probably some people might have questions in the end, but that's all the updates we want to share.
Okay, thanks, Juan. All right, a couple bot updates for everyone. So if you've been keeping an eye on Snapshot recently, you would have seen governance proposal number 2, which sought approval for a few things that I wanted to highlight here. The first is the introduction of bot staking. So not to be confused with node runner staking, which Juan just talked about, which is going to be increasing from 500 to 2,500. We are introducing staking for individual bots as well. This is an attempt to discourage spam and other malicious activity on the network. So similar motivation as node staking. The initial stake for bots is going to be 100 Fort. Beginning in roughly 3 weeks, support for bot staking will be enabled through the Forta app. And then in approximately 6 weeks, so 3 weeks after that, staking is going to become a hard requirement for all bots. So you'll need the minimum stake of 100 before they will run on the network. And we'll be in touch with the community sort of with more details about this transition process, particularly for developers and teams who have existing bots running on the network that currently obviously have no stake. What's the process for sort of migrating those over? So keep an eye out for those additional details on bot staking. Second update, again, also part of governance proposal 2 was a measure to create a grant matching program through Gitcoin grants. In order to reward developers who built bots that are especially useful to the network and community, the foundation has initiated a grant matching program through Gitcoin grants. It's going to be part of Gitcoin Grant Round 15, which should take place sometime next month, September. Via the grants, the way this is going to work is that any bot developer will be able to apply for a grant during round 15 of the Gitcoin grants program. And so community members, anyone in the Web3 community, frankly, will be able to review the grant proposals and selectively contribute to the developers who are building things that they think are important, they think are valuable. The foundation is going to set aside 100,000 Fort, which will be available for matching those grants that the developers receive through Gitcoin, and that'll be distributed through quadratic funding, again, also via Gitcoin. So if you are a developer in the community, if you are associated with a protocol or another Web3 project that you think could benefit from having monitoring on Forta, this is an opportunity, for you to build something and receive community funding and also matching grants from the Forta Foundation. So again, we'll provide more details about this and especially more details on timing as it gets closer. But the time being, just sort of mentally earmark, September for this program to kick off. Okay, I'm going to pass it to Christian to talk about threat detection kits, and Dan Stoyan, you are on deck here.
Hey everybody. So I'll provide an update on threat detection kits. If you're not aware, threat detection kits are essentially bundles of detection bots that detect a generic attack behavior. So those are mostly deployed bots that you can subscribe to. Last month, as attacks occur, the community is analyzing attacks, identifying potential coverage gaps, and really working hard to make the threat detection kits better. And so there were several new bots that were developed and deployed by the community that I want to mention here. Anomalous transaction bot. So this is an ML bot, an anomaly detection ML bot that identifies transactions that are unusual and correlates well with malicious attacks that we have observed in the past. Social engineering contract creation. So this was rooted in attack from a month ago where an attacker deployed a contract where the address is similar to an existing deployed contract. So there's now a bot that detects this condition. We also completed the contest last month, which was around attack contract simulation. And there were several great bots developed by the participants of the contest that are now part of the threat detection kit. And then lastly, there is a new bot, a messaging bot that essentially analyzes on-chain messages that somebody may send to the attacker. So the way to think about this is really a crowdsourced attack detection bot. So those are 4 new bots that were developed. In addition to generic bots that are deployed, we also have this concept of templates. These are detection bots, again, that detect generic attack behavior, but that need a little bit of configuration. That is now exposed in the bot wizard. There were 3 bots around governance attacks that are now available as templates that I encourage you to check out if you have governance as part of your protocol. And then lastly, there is a time series analysis bot template. And what that allows one to do is take a noisy alert and turn that into a time series based anomaly detector. So it essentially allows you to filter noise of particular noisy bots. Lastly, I want to highlight some changes to the alert combiner. So the alert combiner is a bot that consumes alerts that correlate or that identify the various stages of an attack. So if you look at an attack, there's usually a funding stage, a preparation stage, an exploit stage, and a money laundering stage. And so far, the combiner has been requiring that all 4 stages need to trigger for an alert to be raised. Obviously, that is a little bit late because it's really after the fact of the attack. But now the new combiner is actually capable to raise an alert when there's indicators of the funding stage and the preparation stage. And what that really does to the alerts, it gives protocols an early signal that an attack is about to occur with high confidence, allowing protocols to take mitigative action as part of their incident response process. And then lastly, we received feedback from the community that the alert combiner currently does not expose information of the underlying alerts that it utilizes. And so there were changes made to the alert combiner to expose that in the metadata field. And that hopefully will facilitate investigations and make that a little easier. So those were all the updates on the threat detection kits. It's really great to see community all coming together to make those better, and please keep it up, everybody.
Thanks, Christian. And a perfect segue. I now want to welcome Dan and Stoyan from Limechain, one of our more active community members, to talk about some of their work on the threat detection kits.
Hey, thanks, Andy. Hi, everyone. My name is Stoyan. Me and Dejan, we work for Limechain. We are a blockchain development and consulting company based in Bulgaria. And we have been working with Forta for almost a whole year now. So I wanted to share with you about the starter kit bots that we are working on. They provide protocols out of the box detection bots that enable them to receive security relevant alerts on their contracts without requiring any development on their side. And the main idea is for protocol development teams to be quickly onboarded to Forta and start monitoring their contracts. So as Christian mentioned, we have 2 types of starter kits, the more generalized ones that are already deployed and users just need to submit which contract addresses they want to monitor and receive alerts. And we have more templates, starter kits that need to be configured a little bit more, which are templates. And when we configure a new template, that usually results in a new bot deployment. Some interesting starter kits we have deployed are, for example, drastic price change anomaly, which alerts if the price of an asset changes drastically, or if there's a big difference between an on-chain and off-chain price. we also have some governance voting power difference, which alerts if an address gains a lot of voting power for a protocol in a short period of time. We also have a large balance decrease bot and some more interesting things I can share about the large balance decrease bot. It works with library for time series analysis. So it works as a template. When users want to register a large balance decrease bot, they provide a contract address and an aggregation time period, so the length of one period in seconds. And how the bot works is it monitors the transfers from and to the address and calculates the balance decrease for the current period. And at the end of every period, it iterates over every asset and checks if the decrease is an anomaly using the time series analysis library. So yeah, some pretty interesting stuff we developed with the Forta team and wanted to share with everybody.
Thanks for the updates, Doyan. One thing I was going to suggest too, and you may already do this, is that just to sort of advertise the work that Limechain is doing with the starter kits even more, to the extent that you guys have a public repo of that activity. Of all those bots, and that's something you want to share with the community so they can sort of dig in and learn a little bit more about what you're doing at the code level. I'm sure that would be helpful.
Sure, we can do that.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you joining. We'd love to have you back on another community call soon. Okay. Moving to the bot wizard, which is a new feature that's currently part of the Forta app. Alex, you want to share some brief comments about the bot wizard?
Sounds good, and thank you, Limechain. All right, so in case you didn't know, Bot Wizard is Forta's new development tool for detection bots, which lets you create detection bots in minutes. I am personally really excited for this tool because it's super accessible, really intuitive, and lets you create detection bots super fast. So now, in addition to monitoring events, function calls, and account balances, Wizard also includes templates for NFT wash trading, time series analyzer, and a large balance decrease template. If you want to know how exactly to use the tool, you can check out Hasib's recent workshop, which is already up on YouTube. And then the Foundation is committed to supporting Bot Wizard into the future. So we're going to be adding new bots from threat detection kits and other useful bots in the community based on popular demand. And if you'd like to see certain bots added or changes made to the UI, please post in bot ideas and features and tag me or Hasib. All right, and back to you, Andy.
Thanks, Alex. Okay, last item on the agenda, forum proposal updates. Juan, we're going to bring you back for this.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. And we wanted to mention that the community's been pretty active lately and approved last week the FP2, a community proposal that launches bot staking, and it's also sharing with the community the Bitcoin grants approval. Two things that Andy already shared, but for us it's a matter of celebration that the community has been supporting the growth and evolution of the Forta network, and we wanted to share with all of you at the community call. If you have any questions from the proposal, you can visit the Forta forum at gov.forta.network and share your comments, suggestions for the proposal, and keep discussing and building the Forta community there.
Thanks, Juan.
Thank you, Andy.
And I guess if folks are looking for a if you're looking for sort of an overview of that proposal, you can find it on Snapshot. You just go to the Snapshot website, search Forta, and our profile should pop up, and you can read the overview, and then there's a link to the more sort of formal, lengthy proposal on the forum in Snapshot as well. So depending on whether you're looking for a quick read or a deeper dive, both are available, and you can access them through Snapshot. So that wraps up our prepared agenda, everyone. We will open it up to questions for the next few minutes. I'll shut up and let anyone tuning in raise their hand. Alex, Juan, I don't know if anyone's been monitoring the public chat channels here too, but to the extent a question came through there, happy to field it as well.
Yeah, I think let's do the one that Basis tagged us in.
Okay. Would you mind sharing it with the group? I'm not seeing it right now.
Yep. All right. So the question is, will there be slashing after September 30th for node performances that are not at par? Also, of bots running on a node, will it influence reward? How will node economy work in the future in terms of revenue streams?
Okay. So, sounds like two-part question. What, if any, slashing requirement is there? Second part question, what is the sort of long-term business model here for node runners beyond the current subsidies that the foundation is providing, correct?
Yep.
Is there a third part there that I missed?
Just how node economy will work in the future in terms of revenue streams.
Yeah, okay, all right. I'm assuming that's more of a network business model.
Yep, exactly.
Question too. Okay, all right. Juan, I know slashing was part of the latest governance proposal. Is that something that you wanted to cover here? Otherwise, we can just link. We can provide a link to the latest, to FP2, which talks about the slashing policy. That was approved, and so we are planning to implement that 6 weeks. So that should go live at the same time that bot staking becomes a hard requirement for the network. And again, all the details for that are in Forta Proposal 2, which you can find on both Snapshot and gov.forta.network. Juan, was there anything else you wanted to add there, or anyone else?
No, I think you mentioned everything, Andy. And I agree. If you have any questions about the slashing mechanism or how it will apply to bot development, let us know on the Forta channels.
And then second question regarding sort of I believe it was phrased as like the node economy. What I will say about this is that we do expect the network eventually to generate fees from users primarily. This could be in the form of a subscription fee. It could be in the form of some other mechanism. The specific mechanism is TBD, but we do expect to implement that in the future. So how does that impact node runners today? So node runners are doing, playing an important role in the network, doing a majority of the work, running, making sure that those bots are running against every block 24/7, right? I think the expectation, is that node runners, would enjoy some portion of fees, right? But again, specifics about this are TBD. Something that will be very transparent with both the community and node runners specifically about when we have details to share. In the meantime, the Forta Foundation will continue to provide rewards to node runners. So I think basis of that question came from you or it came from a specific community member. I think like the direct answer to this is that for the foreseeable future, node runners will continue to receive rewards based on the SLAs. And at some point, we do plan to integrate fees, and it's possible that there's some connection between node runner incentives and the fee structure. But again, without knowing specifics, it's hard to talk more in depth about that right now. So hopefully that answered the question. And if anyone has any follow-ups related to that, feel free to reach out either on the forum or in Discord, and someone from the team will get back to you shortly.
All right, and then for everyone else, just post in general, and we will get around to your questions. And
I saw a hand up earlier, but it looks like it went down. Does anyone in the audience have a question? Okay. I don't see any hands, so we will call it here. Thank you all for joining. Dan Stoyan from Limechain, thank you guys for participating. We're really excited, we're really obviously appreciative of the work that you do, and look forward to continue working closely with Limechain. And again, just a reminder, if there are any individual developers, developer teams that are interested in getting more involved in the network, please reach out to me, FaceMonkey, or anyone else on the Forta Foundation team. Would love to chat about how to get you more involved. And again, if you have any questions about any of the governance-related proposals that Juan and I spoke about, all that information's on Snapshot and gov.forta.network. Okay. Have a great day, everyone. Recording of this should be online if you missed part of it. But thanks again for joining, and we will see you on the next call.